Hi everyone, welcome to Tom's Manshed. Okay, today's video is going to be on the fitting of a spare wheel kit to an MG ZS EV car. I recently picked up my ZS EV this Saturday, just 3 days ago, and didn't trade in, but sold me beautiful Ford Focus ST3, which I dearly loved. But it was time for a change and I fancied this. Bought this, and like many other cars, it comes with, in fact most cars these days, it doesn't come with a spare wheel. Hardly any car comes with a proper full-size spare wheel, but if it does come with one, it'll be a get you home or like a temporary spare wheel that just gets you to the nearest tyre depot or home or your destination. But this doesn't come with either of them. It comes with, like I said, like many others do, a inflation kit where you attach a liquid, sort of like a sealant, to a compressor, and that pumps it in the tyre and seals the puncture once you've removed the screw or the nail or whatever that caused it. But they are not the easiest thing to use. They don't always work, for reasons I'll give in my description later on in the video. But it's totally up to you. If you're happy with that, just stick with it. But my advice would be to get a proper spare wheel kit. Now, I got mine from, I'll show you where, on eBay now. So I got mine from this place. It's on eBay, but as you can see, Buckingham Stanley, they are an MG dealer. They're an MG and a Subaru dealer, and they are selling the proper, genuine MG kit. Now they're selling it for £199 plus £10 postage. That's £210. I did buy one of these about 2 or 3 months ago while I was awaiting the car. And it was 150 quid, but they were the wrong ones. They were just sending out the ones for the ZS petrol, which the dealers thought at the time were the same, but they're not. The holes are slightly different, the spacing on the studs are slightly different. So they arranged me to send that back at their expense, and I just paid about another 50 quid for this one. So it comes to £210 for the full kit, the jack and everything, which I will show you shortly. On MG's website, there it is, a 16-inch Spacesaver wheel. Again, £210, but I would imagine you'd have to pay postage. So if you've got a local dealer, he could order one in for you, and you could go and pick it up at £210, I would imagine. But if you wanted it, if you weren't near a dealer, you'd have to pay postage off MG. So like I said, this one off eBay is off an MG dealer, and for that £210 you get your postage. Now there is another one on eBay, this that I came across, that I would be very wary of. First of all, it says Spacesaver spare wheel and tyre fits MG ZS EV 2018 onwards. Well, there wasn't the EV version 2018 onwards. They only started supplying them last year, 2019. And if you look, there's only 4 holes there in it. Now there's 5 holes in the MG spare wheel. So that pictured one will definitely not fit. This company may be just using a generic picture of a spare wheel kit, and the one they send may fit the MG. But it's £225 anyway, including postage, so it's 15 quid more. And for that, they just throw in a wrench, a nice looking wrench, a poncho, a kneeling pad, and that, which you've probably got all them anyway, and the jack. But there's no foam insert to put them all in. You're just going to have to find somewhere for it, and they'll just be, in the well at the back of the car. So I wouldn't recommend that one. This was the one I went for from Buckingham Stanley, or just go via MG. So I'll have another talk at the very end of this video, but we'll get straight into it now. The unboxing of the kit as it arrives, taking the old one out and fitting of the new. So let's get straight into that now. Okay, so this is the boot liner out of the boot. That just lifts out as one unit. So you've space here for your Type 2 lead, and this is where you get the granny lead supplied from the garage. So yeah, you have separate space for your Type 2 and your granny lead in this, which you don't when the spare wheel's in place, which you'll see shortly. You've got your compressor and your fluid. Now, if you've never used one of these before, they're, in my opinion, as near as damn it useless. They only work if you've got a puncture right in the actual flat bit of the tread towards the centre of the bit that touches the road of the tyre, along the flat bit. If it's on the curved bit or on the side wall, these kits won't work. If you've done any wheel damage, heavily curbed it or something, and caused damage to the tyre that way, it won't do it. If somebody slashes the side wall, they're of no use. But what you do, you take the screw or the nail out, you place this on here, like that. All the instructions are on it. You then attach the lead to your tyre. You pull the nail out, or the screw out, and if you can imagine trying to do that on a cold, wet, windy night in the rain or the snow, you've got to see where the puncture is, what is puncturing your tyre, to get some tyres to pull it out. You don't get a jack with the kit, so you'd have to take your own jack and wheel brace to get the wheel off if you needed to see it. Other than that, you're having to move the vehicle forward and back, trying to find out where the actual puncture is to gain access to it. Once you've pulled the nail or the screw out, you can then use this kit, and if it's a perfect hole, smallish hole, it will work, and that will seal the tyre inside, enough to get you to a tyre depot or a garage or to your destination or home if it's quite near. Like I said, in reality, you can only use it on certain punctures, and it is a pain, an absolute pain to use. Much better with a proper spare wheel. So you get that, the fluid, the compressor. You get this, which is a tow bolt. That screws in a place in the front of the car. And then if you need to be towed home, they can attach the tow rope to that. And this, which I had to look it up, what it was in the handbook. I didn't have a clue. This here, which is a little pair of tweezers, bit look of it, but it's to pull the plastic covers off the wheel nuts. So, like I said, they don't provide a jack, so they assume you're going to use this kit with the wheel on the vehicle. So why they give you a remover for the plastic caps to take the wheel off, I don't know. But so that will be going in the boot with my new spare wheel kit. I'll have to find somewhere in the shed to put this. But that's it. That's what you get as standard. We'll now go into the fitting of the new spare wheel kit. Right, this is the spare wheel, get your home spare wheel kit as it arrives from MG. So let's get it unwrapped, see what you get in this. So obviously you get the spare wheel itself, you get the insert with the jack, you get this nub to screw down over the top later, this extension bolt, show you how all these go shortly. So let's see how all this lot fits in the boot. Okay, so first of all, I don't know what you can see, it will zoom in, but that little tab there has got an easy break off thing in it, so we'll just get a screwdriver. So, like I said, there's like a couple of little tabs on there. Cut them off. It's quite a soft plastic, this. That little plastic tab comes out. And then this stud, which you get with the kit, obviously there's a smaller thread one end. So just screw that in. So that's that screwed in there. So that's the insert in place, that's how it goes over the stud we've just put in. And again, we have got included in this a jack, obviously. The winding handle for the jack. Just put that down. A wheel brace. The tow bar thing I mentioned before, that comes in the other kit as well. And this thing, which I haven't a clue what it is. It's a... where are we? A little sort of piece of wire. Hook. I have no idea. I'll try and find out what that is and add it later verbally, or put a text under here or something like that. But whatever it is, that just goes in there like that. So you then put your spare wheel in over that, like that. And this knob that comes with it, just screw that down on top, and that grips that spare wheel pretty tight, and it goes flush under that well, so you've still got your two heights. And it sits flush just below that, so you can still utilise the bottom slot of the bottom shelf. That obviously, with when using the spare wheel kit, there isn't that space. If you remember, in the old cutout there was like a space here for your Type 2 lead, and there was the space there for the granny charger, the lead that you charge it from your 3-pin socket at home. So if you're going to be carrying them with you, which you will be on holiday, your granny lead as well, you just have to place them here. Plenty of room for it, and use the higher up level for the base, and then there's tons of room under there for them, and more as well. If you did need that floor pan right on the very, very bottom, I'm sure you could. Well, let's have a look, see if that'll fit, because obviously that's the lead you'll be using the most. So on the very bottom, no, that is sat on the lead. It's not going to be doing it any harm, of course, but so that's where I'll be using mine, which for day-to-day use is fine for me. Even the shopping, and that's plenty of room in there. When I do go on holiday and I need that extra room, if I'm chock-a-block with cases, which again we're not, there's only the two of us, I could put the lead on the back seat or something like that. Put this at its lowest. So you got the choice there. So yeah, this spare wheel does take up a bit of room that the other one didn't. By the way, I've put the warning triangle. There's no specific space for it here like before, but I've just put it there. There's about plenty of room there for it. You could even put your Type 2 cable there on that side wall, that side pocket, and that would let you get your this lid down. So again, you'd have to experiment yourself, but yes, it takes up a tiny bit more room. But trust me, a spare wheel is 10 times better than even a get your home spare wheel like that. It's a lot easier jacking the car up, whizzing that wheel off, whizzing your spare on, than messing about with one of them stupid inflator kits. So there you have it. Hope that explains how to fit the spare wheel kit if you do want one. Like I said, I would definitely advise one if you've ever used. I've used both. I've changed wheels and I've used these inflator kits, and changing a wheel is far easier than trying to use one of them inflator kits, locate where the puncture is, pull it out on a cold, wet, dark, windy road in the mud at night. I'm telling you, it's not fun. So it's up to you. Like I say, if you want to run the risk and just carry one of them, fair enough. If not, get the spare wheel kit. Now, in the description, I did mention both of these tools. This comes with the original kit, with the inflator kit. It doesn't come with the spare wheel kit, so I'm keeping that, and it's to take off the caps off the wheel nuts. I've just tried it, and it works remarkably effectively. It feels quite cheap, but it grips them really good and pulls them off. Now this, there was no instructions with the wheel kit or anything, so I didn't know what that was, so I've just rung up Buckingham Stanley, who I got the spare wheel off, and they said it's for the same thing, it's for pulling the plastic caps off. I tried this and it's nothing like as good, trying to get it behind, and it's only pulling on the top of it, and of course that bit doesn't go around. So if you can think of a better use for it, or it might be something else, let me know in the comments, but I would use that, or just pull them off with your fingers. Just one thing I forgot to add, so I've just inserted this bit. There's been a bit of discussion on the Facebook page, the MG Facebook page, about having to always fit a get your home spare wheel on the back of the vehicle. Well, that isn't the case. I'll just read this to you first from the MG manual. It's on page 255. When driving on icy or slippery surfaces, it is advised to fit the Spacesaver wheel to the rear of the vehicle to maintain adequate stability. This may mean swapping a front wheel with a rear wheel. So yeah, what that's applying to is the same for any car, whether it's a petrol, diesel, EV or whatever, in slippery surfaces, so on ice or snow. put the get your home spare wheel on the back, but that is, like I said, just for the control of the car, just because it's on a slippy surface. If you're on a normal road that isn't slippy, even in the wet or whatever, it's fine to have the get your home spare wheel on the front if that's where the puncture was. It's not going to ruin the motors or anything to do with the control system of the car or whatever. People have said because it's a different diameter, it can confuse the car. None of that's good. They'd have mentioned that in the book. They wouldn't even supply a get your home spare wheel if that was the case. No, it was just put it on the rear when it's a slippy road, as you would for any get your home spare wheel with any vehicle. And it is just that, get your home one to either to the nearest tyre depot or your destination or home. It's not designed to be driven around for days on, and only do about sort of 30 mile an hour or whatever they recommend it in the book. I wouldn't go more than 30 miles an hour with one. And if you stick to them rules, you'll be absolutely fine. Like I say, it is only a temporary thing to get it somewhere where your tyre can be properly repaired. So don't worry about having it on the front. It will not damage the vehicle in any way. Okay, so like I say, I hope it has been of some use to you, this video. Now I've got the MG ZS EV. I don't plan on getting rid of it quickly. Plan on having it at least 3 to 5 years. So I've plenty of videos planned for it. I've half filmed a lot of them while I had my Focus, because a lot will be comparison videos between the Focus and the MG. I know the two different cars. One's a hot hatch, one's an electric vehicle, but I'm not a motor dealer. I've no access to various EVs to compare, so they're the only two I had. And the Focus was, of course, a family-sized hatchback, so it may be of interest to some. I'll be doing one on the headlights, the different headlight performances, the lumen output of each one, and describing how each one works. The leg room and the boot room of each vehicle. I'll also be going into detail on fitting a dash cam to the ZS EV, a really good front and rear Viofo dash cam. Keep tuned for that. I'll be giving the full installation instructions for that as well. So if you want to see a few more of these MG videos, like I said, the first few will probably be comparisons between the Focus and that. Then it'll just be MG specific videos. I'm a newbie myself, so it'll be from a newbie's point of view. It's my very first electric vehicle. I haven't even used big chargers away from home or anything like that yet. So I'll be going into all that. And hopefully you'll follow me along the journey. So if you're interested in that, subscribe, press the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't. Feel free to leave any comments, and I'll catch you again for the next one as soon as possible. Bye for now.